4020.
Listening to the NRLW Weekly podcast, which unfortunately I listened to after the game, so it was a bit pointless because it was previewing the season. Ruan Sims, who I think is a great pundit, people listening to this won't be surprised at that. I know one person won't be. She described the Sydney Roosters squad as being a great set of cattle or something, which I thought, if I went on this programme and said, well, I watched the women's nines on Saturday, and I tell you what, Wigan, they're a great set of cattle. That's not going to fly. That's not going to fly. I'm not going to get away with that. Two double standards in Australia. They speak funny in Australia, as Emily Vivers will reveal when I post that interview with her. Wigan won the nines again. Well done, Wigan.
Did they? You were there.
Oh, I was there. I got
Guessing
sunburnt.
your forehead sunburnt. Did they take the strongest squad?
Yes, they and Huddersfield did, and they made the final. Although it was very hard to find information because there were no team sheets, and some teams didn't even put their squads on the internet, which is not very good. So if they haven't got names on the back, it's very difficult to know who they are, especially when they don't take media people, which in fairness Wigan did and were very helpful. So thank you, Wigan.
Do we need to define what that event is? Because
I was just thinking why we're doing
it. It was a great festival, so the opportunity for development players and all that kind of thing. But what's the point of nines? Bearing in mind that there is no nines anywhere in the rugby league world anymore. You either take a development team or you take a team to win it. And you invite teams to come who are spreading the word of women's rugby league, and they're the three teams that aren't
don't
there.
turn up, yeah.
Well, we don't know if they didn't turn up or the logistics why they couldn't be there.
No one told
but
us, yeah.
Scotland Women, Northumbria University, North Wales Crusaders, who were listed as being there, and it would have been great to see them.
Cardiff were there, and they stayed the night overnight, the day before.
I'm just saying, is it a great idea, but we don't actually know what it is?
They've done it for a few years, haven't they? Because didn't they have it at Warrington?
Yeah, they've had it as a split event where they've had
Salford.
the qualifiers and then the finals on another day. I wonder, because having it done in one day, perfect, because you don't need to faff around with. There's no point having qualifiers when you know that even if Leeds or Saints put the reserves out of the academy, they're going to be a League One or Championship team easily. So there's no point in having qualifiers. Just have it as a one-day event at a proper ground. But I know if you're going to have all these teams, you do need extra pitches. So what professional ground have we got? Castleford. We're not going to have it at Castleford, are you? Best one in the world. So just invite the Super League teams and a couple of guests and have it at Leeds or Bellevue or Saints or wherever, and just have it all on the main pitch. Because there's an event for, if I was like Abigail, who's 11, who kept telling us she's 11, if I was Abigail, it was great because I could go get selfies with all my favourite players, I could see them all play on different pitches and see all these different teams and have my face painted and stuff, which I did, and buy a crop charm and whatever.
What did you have it for?
I had a rainbow, but it was upside down, which I don't know if it's like anti-pride or something. So I couldn't work it out. Put it upside down. It's not very good, is it? But it's perfect for them. I said one of the things people said was, well, they have to have it at West Park because they need the extra pictures and they need space for the other stuff going on. Well, the other stuff was a DJ on a table in a tent, some face painting and a little bit of merch. There's no merch really. Lanyards and croc charms. The kids love lanyards. They all love lanyards. On a table, and then a van which had a big screen on, which you couldn't really see because it's got a drone and was filming the games. It was strange. But there wasn't anything else going on, so it wasn't as if it just, as an event for the target audience, perfect-ish. If you want to turn it into something which I think people snuck in, because I'm not sure necessarily they were checking tickets on the gate, or I just wandered in.
Yeah, but you're well known, aren't you? You're a celebrity.
Yeah, so. They all know me. But as an event, it could be better.
I'm just thinking more of a concept.
But yeah, if you have
nines, isn't it? What we have decided that we're not going to go down the road. We used to have a Nines World Cup, and we've seen various attempts at Headingley of Carnegie Nines and all that. That was going to be the mid-season event that was going to be our 2020 cricket or whatever it was going to be, our shortened form, and it's almost as if we've run out of steam with all of that, but we still have a women's nines. And I get that the good thing about the nines is if you are a development team, if you are Scotland Women and it's your first entry, you don't need as many players. Right. But then if you don't turn up, doesn't that defeat we are told they are going to turn up and they are not there, rather than they don't turn up, then the reason you're doing nines is negated by the fact that the best people that benefit from it being nines aren't there to
So
play
you
nines.
may as well just have the 8 Super League teams, which is too many anyway, and then a couple of guest teams. So you can have Wales or the England, the students or whatever. But the problem is, if all the Super League clubs don't put out a smattering of star players, then it even becomes even less of a point, as happened with the Carnegie
It was,
Knights,
yeah,
'cause
exactly the same.
No one. It's great.
Did you ref those?
I did, yeah. Do you remember?
Was that fun?
No, it was just a toss about really. The only big thing was that you didn't have to go to training on a Tuesday or whatever it was. Was it on a when? I can't remember the day of the week, but it just meant that you didn't have to go to training. So that was like your training session. But I remember one of the referees at Hull KR blowing up early because the ferry sounded its horn. And he thought it was the and then they had a stupid signal, like a lasso signal for. I think you scored extra points.
Oh, if they scored right in
Oh no, it was like a what does it? No, you got.
Was there a golden try zone? If you
Oh no, that was
scored
it.
between
That's
the
it.
posts?
When you scored a try or something, and then you had what do they call it? Like a single play to try and score again.
Oh right, all
Yeah.
right, like they do in
Yeah.
the NFL.
Yeah.
2-point conversion. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had one player to try and score another try. I think I can't remember what they called it now, power play or whatever.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well done to Wigan anyway, who beat Huddersfield in the final 12-0. Lee won the cup 15-8 against London. The cup being a shield. And Wakefield won the shield, which was a shield. 19-0 against Leamington.
I thought you were going to say it was a cup.
There is a cupboard
We
full
are the
of shields.
champions. They seem to have a lot of extra medals as well. So, like
Shields
look,
must be cheaper than cups.
Well, it's just a bit perfect with you won something on. So well done. You know, there's something there, but what do they want it to be?
Yeah.
If they want it to be an event which you can stream properly, then you need to have it at a proper ground.
With the stars play.
If it's just a development competition, people aren't going to go
Oh,
because
no.
it's not
But
the
just
same
tell
thing.
them in advance what it is.
Yeah.
But well done to Wigan, who've got another trophy in
Yeah.
the cap.
Well, they count it, don't they?
Yeah.
Because they've won back-to-back trophies. They
Yeah.
want to win everything. That's what
And they
Andy Davies
didn't
said.
concede a point in the entire day, which is astonishing.
But get well soon, Sammy Simpson of Swinton, who I've not put the interview up with yet. But I was in two minds after I did this interview. Have you ever heard of her?
No.
Right. You know Emily Rudd. She's very big on social media.
Yeah.
Sammy Simpson is like the championship version of Emily Rudd because she plays for Swinton.
I didn't even know Swinton had this women's team.
Swinton
That's bad,
Lionesses
isn't it?
is this. Yeah. So she's like Emily Rudd. And I thought, right, she's got people who follow her on the internet. I'm going to interview her because that might get some traction. So I got her after a game in which she had suffered a serious injury. Now, the game after, she actually does suffer an injury and goes off to the hospital. She's fine. Perfect tackle. I don't know who the Leeds player was who smashed into it. It was a great tackle. Goes off to hospital anyway. So the game before, she's picked up a different injury because in the act of scoring a try, as you'll hear her described on the video when I post it, she loses half an eyelash. Now, the injury is funny because she's a character. And we need characters.
Absolutely.
So it's brilliant because she's talking about how this is a personal disaster to her because she's got to get her eyelashes done before she's back at work or something, or she's going off on holiday or something. I can't remember what the story is.
Sounds a bit like one of our journalists in the press box at Hull Carster who lost a lens from his glasses.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh, the tennis player that I saw, that when she went to swing, caught a earring on her t-shirt, I think, which meant she couldn't hit the shot. But, well, that's a lesson. Don't wear earrings and play tennis.
Sport's dangerous. Yes, says Steve Mascord. Describing players as cattle is very common, but that Jimmy Smith finds it offensive and picks people up on it. Not sure it's offensive to professional rugby league players or farm animals. Well, judging by some professional rugby league players, I would say farm animals.
Has he told us what tune we're going into?
No, he hasn't yet, no.
He was at Black Sabbath on
Oh, was he there?
Saturday. Yeah.